Hello everyone, here Dr. Zahid Ansari, Professor Department of Computer Science, PA College of Engineering, Karnataka, Mangalore, Karnataka, India. In this video, I am presenting an example to write a simple mouse event handler in Java. So, we go to the example to implement mouse event handler. In order to implement the mouse event handler, we are importing certain packages. We are importing java.awt.star and java.awt.event.star. Okay, because we need the Java classes and interfaces related with event sources, and event listeners. We are also importing java.applet.star because we want to create an applet. So our mouse events handler, it is an applet. So we need the Java's applet class. That's why we are importing java.applet.star. So we are implementing the handle. So we are writing the class mouse events. Since we want to make it as an applet, so we are extending the Java's applet class. And we want to implement Java's mouse listener interface and Java's mouse motion listener interface. So we are using the keyword implements. So it implements mouse listener and mouse motion listener. Okay. We are providing few data members. One is we want to print certain message. So we are defining message as a string and we are initializing it to an empty string. Then where to display this message? For that we are specifying the coordinates of the mouse. So x position and y position. So mouse x is an integer representing the x position of the mouse. Mouse y is another integer that represents the y position of the mouse, and we are initializing these positions to 0, 0. In the init method of the applet, we are registering the listeners to the source window. So we are calling add mouse listener and we are passing this pointer so as to register the listener with the source. We are also calling add mouse motion listener, and since this applet class, it is both mouse listener as well as mouse motion listener, so we are passing this reference over here. So basically the listeners, they are registered with the source. After that, we first implement the methods of the mouse listener interface. So first method what we implement is mouse clicked. See, all these methods, they are taking a mouse event object as a parameter. So ME is the mouse event object over here. Okay. What we do in the method mouse clicked is we want to print the message mouse clicked at position 10, 10. So we are setting mouse x to 10, mouse y to 10, and message we are setting to mouse clicked. Then we are calling repend, which in turn calls the pend, and the message gets printed at the position 10, 10. Okay. The next method is we are trying to handle the mouse entered. Meaning is when the mouse enters into the window, at that time we want to print the message mouse entered at the same position 10, 10. So we are setting mouse x to 10, mouse y to 10, and message to mouse entered. Then we call repend in order to display this message. Similarly, when the mouse is exited from the window, for that we implement mouse exited method. We are setting xy position to 10, 10, and the message we are setting mouse exited. Then we are calling repend to display this message. Similarly, to handle the mouse press, when the mouse is pressed, at that time we want to print the message down over here. So but we want to print this message at the position exactly where actually the mouse was pressed. So in order to get that position on the mouse event object that is passed as a parameter, on that object we call the method getX. So it will give the x position of the mouse where it was pressed, and me.getY will give the y position of the mouse where it is pressed. So we get the position X and Y position in mouse X and mouse Y respectively, and then we print the message down. Then we repaint so that the message is displayed. Next method is mouse released, right? So when the mouse button was pressed and after that it is released, at that time, right, we try to get the position where the mouse got released. Okay, so we call me.getX. To get the Y position, we call me.getY, and at that position we want to print the message up over there. Then we are repenting. So these we implemented the methods of mouse listener class. Now there are two methods of mouse motion listener class. One is mouse dragged and the other is mouse moved. What is the difference between them? When we press the mouse and we move it, it is mouse dragging the mouse. And when we move the mouse without pressing, in that case, it is moving the mouse. Okay, so we first implement mouse dragged. Okay, so when the mouse is getting dragged, we want the star to be printed, and as the mouse is moving, we want the star also to move. So to do that, we want to get the current position of the mouse. So we are calling me.getX to get X position and me.getY to get the Y position. And message we are setting to star. So as we drag the mouse, the star is being moved at those positions. In the status bar, we want to print dragging mouse at whatever is the that current position of mouse at that time. So we are calling the show status method for displaying that into the status bar. Okay, then we are calling repend, so that star, the star is printed as we drag it. And the last method what we are implementing in this is the mouse moved method. Whenever we move the mouse without pressing, then in that case, in the status bar, we want to print moving the mouse at whatever is the position of the mouse at that particular time. And finally, the last method pend, right, which will be called when we call repend. In that, we are basically printing the message at the position mouse X and mouse Y. Okay, so let's run this now. So I am running the file. Okay, so the applet window is created. I'll bring it into the center. Okay, I'll maybe move it, make it little bit bigger. Okay, and now let's say I enter my cursor into this. So as soon as I did this, see, it is printing mouse entered. Okay, if I go out of the window, it prints mouse exited. Right? As I enter, exit, it keeps changing the message. Mouse entered, mouse exit, mouse entered, mouse exit. Okay, now as I am moving the mouse, see in the status bar, it is printing moving the mouse at whatever, as the mouse position is changing, it is changing the position. If I am dragging it, see, it is the star is getting dragged. Okay, and in the status bar we see, right, dragging the mouse at position. Okay, if I release it, see, it is printing up. If I just press it, it is printing down. Okay, so this way we implemented the various methods of the mouse listener and mouse motion listener interfaces. Okay, this finishes our demonstration. Thank you.